Shalom, Apostle Ricard back again. Barakatah Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Barakatah Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Barakatah Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, shalom to all you sincere brothers of the hopeful elect. And this one right here, this is going to be a real quick one. I just kind of want to make a point, a right quick point, okay, about the righteous, all right, and the wicked, which we know in Job 9:24, it says, what? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right? He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. So we know who the wicked is because, like in the previous video I just did, the wicked is ruling. And that's evident. Nobody can refute that or deny that. The wicked is ruling. Who's the wicked? Esau himself. The other nations, right? These other nations, they in power in their nations. You know, like when you go over there to so-called Africa, them Hamites, in their different little territories, they in power. Okay, if you go to China, over there in China, them Moabites, they in power. Japan, you know, these different nations, right? But them other nations don't have global power. The person that has dominion over the whole earth, even amongst them other nations and their lands, is Esau, the so-called white man. This devil, these Edomites, right? You see what I mean? He's got the overall power. Because how is it that, why do they call the president of the United States the most powerful man on the planet, right? Because Esau gave him that seat. Remember, the scripture said that he would give Esau dominion over the earth, right? The fatness of the earth. You see what I'm saying in Genesis? So that was a part of Esau. Yeah, Esau was given a blessing because remember, when our forefather Jacob supplanted him for the birthright of the ruler, the ultimate rulership, right? It said Esau cried about it. He mourned, man, and he went to Isaac and said, Father, do you not still have a blessing for me? Right? And the sword, see, that's a part of it in Genesis 25, right? Or when you go in Genesis, right? The sword, what's the sword? The sword represents that destruction, his weaponry, his technology. See, that's why Esau overall has dominion of the earth. That's why, like I said, Trump, right? He meeting with Vladimir, even though Putin, he's an Edomite too, right? He bears a form, he's an Edomite. Like Russia, they bear a form of power in other parts of the earth too, right? But America, Babylon, that's that whore, right? Here, America pops off to all the nations, right? That's why Trump is able to sit there and go over and tell Putin, look, man, you got to stop that war. You need to stop that war. He can dictate shit to other nations, right? America, the American president. He went over there. He was talking shit to them Palestinians, right? He even go down there to Africa talking shit, making threats, right? He could threaten Canada. He could threaten China, put tariffs on other nations. Because all these other nations make money off America, right? They make money off America. You see what I mean? So by putting tariffs on them, right, sanctions and all that shit, that affects their commerce. But see, Esau, he's the wicked that's ruling the earth. And we know that, right? Now, who's the poor? The scriptures talk about the poor, right? Overall, when the scriptures talk about the poor, it's really talking about Israel, starting with the elect, because everything starts with the elect of Israel, right? That's who the Lord, this Bible is really pertaining to the elect. These scriptures, these letters, these gospels is Yahweh Shah was talking specifically to the elect. So this Bible is our inheritance, the hopeful elect. It was written for us. This message was written specifically for us. The rest of Israel, yeah, it mentions Israel. Right? It mentions the 2/3. It mentions Esau, right? But the Bible, if you have the 2/3, this Bible ain't talking to you. Real talk, I'm gonna be honest. If you have the 2/3, the Bible ain't for you. It's only for the elect. Come on, need I read scriptures? Come on, go to Amos 3:7. Go to my favorites, 1 Peter's 1:1, 2 Peter's 1:1, right? Yahweh Shai said in Matthew 19, he said, what? Not all men can receive this saying, save they to whom it is given. You jump back to Matthew's the 13th chapter, another one of my favorites I always quote over the years. It is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. Who? The other Israelites that Yahweh Shah was talking to. That's why he was talking to them in riddles. So the poor technically starts off with the elect of Israel. Now, technically also, the poor would represent Israel because the nation of Israel on a whole is at the bottom. Okay? Even the 2/3, right? All of us, we all at the bottom. If you're an Israelite, you at the bottom. All the other nations look down on Israel, right? So technically, so it's not poor, you broke, you ain't got no money in your pocket, you homeless. The poor it's a state of being, a state of mind, because the poor is looked down upon as lowly. That's the word I wanted, lowly. So as a whole, all Israel is lowly to Esau and the other nations. And that's why they hate us. That's all the other nations despise the Israelites, man. You see what I mean? They despise Israel. They got bywords for all of us, right? Nigger, spick, tonto, right? Wetback, so on and so forth, right? Israel didn't give those bywords to themselves, right? That was given by Esau and the other nations. You see what I'm saying? Them Hamites ain't the poor because you know what? People don't look, them so-called Africans from Africa, and I'm not talking about the Nigerians and the Igbo, because those are Israelites too. We know that. Some of them so-called Africans are Israelites, right? We know that. But I'm pretty sure even back in Africa, the Nigerians amongst them other African nations, they're looked down upon by them other Africans. They look down on the Nigerians. Why? Because the Nigerians are Israelites. So they're the poor, they're the lowly. You see what I'm saying? But I'm talking about real, actual Africans, Hamites. A Hamite will come over here and Esau, Edomites, will accept him. Now, wait a minute. They're black as coal, blacker than certain jakes over here. But them so-called Africans, they come over here to America, the Hamites, the real, actual Hamites, and they get a form of respect. Even the other name, oh, he's African. No, he's the Arabs, the Chinese, the Japanese, they'll see a black-ass African, right? And he might come, he might have on a suit and tie, but he might have on his African garb, right? But this guy might be somebody big in Africa. He might be a warlord or a chief or a president of a country. And Africa's divided by them different little countries. He come over here, he come to the UN, they're gonna treat him like a dignitary, a delegate. People are gonna look at him differently, even Edomites. Even so-called racist Edomites, they'll look at that African, right, with his African garb on, and he talking with a heavy African accent. Yes, my name is Lumumbo. I am from Ghana. I am, you know what I mean? Edomites will give him respect. They'll say, oh yeah, he's not a nigger. Everybody hates American black niggas. And you know what? I understand why. The way Jake get on over here, man, and it's all over the social media. You black African Americans, you put yourselves out there and then turn around and cry and want to know why the world hates you. In particular, African American Negroes. Man, go on YouTube and all the shit I be watching every morning. Man, Big Shirley, Pookie, Red, the way y'all act like a bunch of juvenile, delinquent maniacs. Like little kids, like little juvenile, delinquent kids in the mind. But you in a grown person's body. Yeah, that's literally how y'all act. So y'all lowly, but sometimes y'all perpetuate this. When I said Israel is the poor, that means lowly. Everybody looks down on the Israelites, but you niggas, you give people reasons to look down on you, man. You blacks, you Hispanics, you give them reasons. You niggas like that. Y'all like to perpetuate the stereotype. Which you should be wanting to get away from that. But let me read this. I'm in the book of Proverbs 14, and I'm going to read 20. Proverbs 14 and 20. The poor is hated, even of his own neighbor. Yeah, see, I said it. Israelites hate other Israelites. That's why that proves my point, really. The poor is hated, even of his own neighbor. Now, Esau, technically, The word neighbor means brother. They are our brothers. They are wicked brothers. Remember, Esau hated Jacob. He wanted to kill Jacob. But then when you bring that on home, that means the elect is hated by other Israelites. If you have the elect, the 2/3 hates the elect. And the prophets were the elect. You see? These wicked, evil niggas out here and stuff like that, they hate our guts, man. They'd like to kill us if they could. Look at these other Israelite groups. They hate the hell out of it. They say, GMS, y'all the gum in the bottom of our shoe. Y'all the worst Israelite group. Y'all should all be fucking put to death or locked up or whatever, right? But the rich have many friends. That's right. Now, Esau and the other nations, they're the rich, and now the 2/3, right? Or these other dudes. Let's use these dudes from these other Israelite groups, right? They're rich, right? Like IUIC, right? They got all the members. They got the big, right? Them guys making money. They got all kind of money. They live in palatial houses. So people don't talk bad about IUIC or Bishop Nathaniel. They don't talk. The General Yohana, the same thing. ISUPK, right? They making all these appearances and shit. They got all kind of members and stuff, right? Them dudes are getting grants because they got those 501c3s, so they getting all kind of money from the government. So, you know, that's why they have these big palatial Passover parties and big palatial feasts, right? They doing all right. Everybody talks good about them. Here, them brothers, they are, but GMS. Because we're looked at as just a little lowly group. Well, we don't wear fancy garments. You know, we just wear regular rough type garments. You know, you niggas call them bed sheets, or not bed, what's that, man? Curtains. I'm talking about, you niggas wearing those dirty curtains, right? Y'all bums. Oh yeah, we're bums, we're the bums. Yeah, a bum is poor, lowly, see? He that despiseth his neighbor sinneth, that's right. See, them guys, they sinning, right? The wicked niggas that come against us, they sinning. They're being wicked, man. They're spreading falsehoods, bearing false witness. But he that hath mercy on the poor, happy is he. That's right. Now, we got certain people out there, they might not necessarily be members of GMS, right? But we have people that send us offerings and do things. We have certain sisters that send garments, make certain jewelries. You see what I'm saying? Those people are going to be blessed. Remember, Yahushua said, whoso giveth a prophet a cup of water in the name of a prophet shall in no wise receive a prophet's reward. Right? You see what I'm saying? But I'm going to read on, man. So the people that help the prophets are friends of the prophets, right? Do they not err that devise evil? That's right. I'm saying it, remember? Now, this could also apply to Esau too, right? But right now, I'm talking about Jake. See, all you people that scoffing and you doing all kind of evil, you're trying to come against, trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? Trying to hinder our ministry. But mercy and truth shall be to them that devise good. That's right. So you brothers keep doing the work too. That's devising good. What we doing right now? Doing these videos. We go out on the camp. We teaching. Okay. Mercy. By serving the Lord and doing what we're supposed to do, even in adversity, you're going to be blessed, man. You're going to be blessed. You understand what I'm saying? The ones of you that help support this work and the sincere, true men of the Lord, you're going to be blessed by the Lord. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. But I just wanted to make that quick point, man. All right? I'm going to cut the video now, and I say shalom to all you brothers of the hopeful elect, man. Shalom.